All right, everybody. Good afternoon, everyone. Forecaster Josiah Acheampong here on this Sunday. Taking a look right now at our sky cam in Bushland. It looks beautiful out there. Stunning. Looks can be deceiving, though. However, they can be deceiving. So while it looks beautiful out there, it's actually feeling cooler than what you may think. Taking a look, though, at our radar and water vapor imagery, we'll see that the streaming of clouds coming in from the north kind of helping to demonstrate where those winds are coming from, one, but two, just how strong that cold front is. It's really pumping in some of that cooler air, but what you can imagine here is kind of the deepening of the jet stream. You can almost see it here on this radar and water vapor imagery as it pushes down south over portions of central Texas, making its way down near portions of the Gulf Coast. But you can see all these bright blues and pinks around the Great Lakes. Portions of Indiana are being hammered with 2 to 4, if not 5 inch an hour rates of snow, all thanks to those colder winds coming from Canada, making their way across the warm Great Lakes. And that's how you get that lake effect snow setup that's currently happening over portions of the Great Lakes. But again, here, we're just cool and dry, but we could have some moisture on the way. I'll have more on that coming up in just a little bit. But first, right now, temperatures sitting in the 50s, 53 here in Amarillo, 56 in Tucumcari, 51 for both Canadian and Perryton, and 57 down in Childress at this hour. Compared to this time yesterday, we're anywhere between 5 to 15 degrees cooler than yesterday. Yes, we are definitely cooling down, and this is going to be the brunt of what will be a part of this colder air mass seeping its way through portions of the United States. But as we plan out the rest of this evening, those temperatures will continue to slide from the 50s into the 40s, then eventually the 30s and even the 20s tonight. As a result, we do have freeze alerts for portions of Gray, Wheeler, Donley, as well as Collingsworth County. They're shaded in purple. That'll start tonight at 9 p.m. and last until tomorrow morning. The issue is this is likely going to be a killing freeze, especially for any vegetation and plants that will be out there. This will likely end the growing season across the panhandle at large. So definitely a colder air mass for sure. One of the coldest nights that we can expect so far this season. But as you plan out tomorrow morning, a chilly start, you're going to need to grab the jackets, the scarves, maybe even a hat as you head out the door. But as we get into the afternoon, that's where you may need to shed a couple layers because we'll be back to our seasonable highs in the low to mid 60s. It's going to feel pleasant out there once we get through those morning hours. So let's time all this out. Running our model, we'll go throughout tonight into tomorrow morning. You'll wake up, open the door, you'll get a smack in the face of that colder air kind of sitting outside waiting for you as you walk outdoors. Temperatures in the 20s and 30s as you head out. We'll warm up nicely into the 60s in the afternoon. We'll cool back down, however, Tuesday morning. Not as cold as what we've been dealing with the last couple of nights, starting out in the 40s, and then we'll warm back up into the 70s, the mid to upper 70s, making a comeback as we await yet another cold front to kind of sweep through. The problem with tonight's cold is it's not just the raw temperatures, it's also the wind chills. While largely winds will be kind of moderate in nature, anywhere between 5 to 15 miles an hour, we still will have a wind chill factor. It's going to feel more like the upper teens and low and mid 20s across the area as we deal with these cooler temperatures at large. Now, the good news is these cooler temperatures are going to be short lived. As we get into portions of early this week and into portions of midweek, we'll have this area of high pressure dominate across the plains. That will surge in milder air as well as those clear and calm conditions. We could use the rain, however, and that's going to be the good news. What you'll notice is, as we take a look at the Pacific Northwest, we'll have this large upper level disturbance make its way into portions of the West Coast. That trough will deepen and eventually make its way into portions of the plains. The question is just where exactly does that go? Now, models have been trying to pinpoint exactly when we'll see a cold front because we'll likely have temperatures cool down in the process, but we also could have much needed moisture make a return to the area. In fact, taking a look at the Climate Prediction Center, as we take a look at the dates between November 15th to the 19th, we have a 50% chance of above normal precipitation, and we are in desperate need of that precipitation because we do have a growing moderate drought, especially for areas along and south of I-40 That's where we're seeing that moderate drought continue to expand compared to our last drought monitor reading. And because we have yet to receive some rain, it's going to only get worse. In fact, you can actually watch this batch of severe drought over portions near the Red River Valley. That's where you're going to see that drought. Well, hopefully not, but it may expand into portions of the southern panhandle as we await some much needed precipitation. Taking a look though at our 7-day tracker, we're in the 60s tomorrow after a chilly start in the 20s and 30s. We'll have a cold front move through on Tuesday, not doing much in the way of cooling us down on Veterans Day on Tuesday. But as we head into the end of the week, we'll have temperatures try to make a run near 80 degrees before we get another cold front associated with that large area of disturbance making its way through portions of the Pacific Northwest late week. All of that may swing our way and could give us some possible moisture, much needed. We'll keep an eye on that as we continue to get information. But what we do know is we're likely going to cool down yet again. So this time next week, we could be back on the chillier side with temperatures in the 50s. Thank you for watching here on YouTube. Hope to see you all on our broadcast in about 45 minutes or so, and then again at 10 p.m. Hope you all have a great rest of your day. Stay warm and stay weather aware.